He's a loose cannon, this guy.
Hey toy collectors, welcome to another super exciting, outrageous toy review. We're back with our super panel of G.I. Joe fans, Mike Bro from The Bro Show, Rose and Tony from RetroCon, and today we're talking about Mike Bro's favorite G.I. Joe, Scoop.
Scoop, for me, was one of those figures, one of those characters that, as G.I. Joe winded down from the Sunbow series, and just after the movie, we're like, what are we going to get? And we got the Deke series initial thing of Dragonfire, Operation Dragonfire. And the main character in that was Scoop. Leonard Michaels himself, and he wasn't just a G.I. Joe brought on by Sergeant Slaughter randomly in a battle. He was an actual Cobra operative. And I thought that was a cool little twist to the character.
He was an alley viper, right?
Yeah, he was a Crimson Guardsman, actually.
Oh, sure, Crimson Guard.
Yep.
Right, yeah.
So I'm sad that we never got a figure of him with a Crimson Guardsman suit as well. But I just thought that was a cool little twist, and it was because Cobra twisted his family's death or something. Like, we can use him.
It's pretty dark.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, this
Kids cartoon.
I'm like, what the heck's going on here? So I thought that was cool, but he also was a reporter. And right about the time this came out, I started realizing that I wanted to be either in front of or behind the camera doing stuff like that. I'm like, this works out perfect for me. So I fell in love with the character Scoop then, and I had to have the figure. Even though I was in high school, I was about 16, 17, I'm like, I need more of this guy. I need more of him. So I got just the original Scoop, and that's all we ever got. Fast forward to about 97, 98 when I'm living in Boston, Massachusetts. Still got my original Scoop at the time. Walk into a comic book store, and I found a Scoop carded. This is one of my most prized possessions I've had for over 20 years.
Wow.
And it's a carded Scoop that says, Nombre en Conquito. It's Scoop card in Spanish.
Oh, wow.
So I had to have that. And his name is Nombre de Archivo Michaels Leonard, Especialidad Militar Principal Periodista. I guess that means, reporter. So, yeah. But around this time, I also figured out that Leonard Michaels was actually based on a real person, a real reporter for NBC called Michael Leonard. And I'm like, oh, that's just a cool thing. Thank you, Internet, 1998, 1999.
Is he also part of Cobra?
He was, no, I don't think Michael Leonard was part of Cobra, but maybe he was doing something nefarious. We don't know.
We don't know.
Michael, if you have been, just tell us. Just tell us now.
I do love, as a side note, that the back of this package shows some of the European Tiger Force guys, like Psych Out and Outback, that are pretty rare. That's kind of cool.
And then their names on some of the others, like Lifeline is back there as Tiger Force, named Doc.
Doc.
Like, that doesn't seem right to me.
Well, Mutt's name is Doberman.
So if Lifeline's name is Doc on here, what is Doc's
Maybe
name?
Doc wasn't released. I don't know.
Yeah,
You don't
exactly.
think Doc was ever released?
I'm not
over
sure.
there?
And thanks to Kevin with his collection, this is an original carded one as well, with the right naming. So, Scoop with his primary military specialty, journalist. So, I can't speak Spanish, I'm sorry guys. I can't even speak Cajun French. Periodisto must be journalist. And the serial numbers are the same. Look at that. So, that's from Kevin's collection, which was initially from our friend Nick's collection.
Right, I bought that at an auction from Nick. Scoop has actually been not my favorite figure, but one of these oddball characters that I've always taken an appreciation for. I had him as a kid, thought it was a neat figure, really liked his helmet.
It makes sense to have a journalist there on board.
Oh yeah.
Especially with they've historically embedded journalists and had people documenting things.
Absolutely.
We had documented wars and such.
Exactly.
But not to change things a little bit, but when you were talking about the dark story behind them,
Yeah.
I noticed in the cartoons they don't mention so much of the dark stuff like in the comics. The comics get very, very dark.
Exactly. Well, in the comics, and it's one of the few comics I don't have from the original line, there's a special missions issue, number 23, that is a specifically Scoop story. And the basic Scoop story is that the jugglers, I believe it is, are sending Scoop in to kind of spy on the G.I. Joes, to get information about them, to try and maybe bring them down or get bad information about them. I'm like, that's really kind of cool. But then, throughout the firefight and everything, and all the Joes like, oh, a guy with a big camera and all this gear, he's not going to be able to fight. He ends up saving a couple of the Joes' lives, and then they save him, and he realizes, you know what? I'm not going to say anything bad about these guys because this is exactly what they should be doing. Like, that's cool.
Nice,
that just,
great message.
Yeah, so with Scoop, I do end up getting a few more. This is the collector's edition one from series 6 or 7 that came out. I was so excited. Always a little bit different coloring. He's not quite yellow.
I don't know why they tweaked the color. I think people have embraced the yellow of Scoop. Like,
Yeah.
he's a weird guy, so just let him be weird.
And he's a non-combatant, so
But
that's why he has that light color.
Exactly.
They made him orange, and it didn't improve anything. I don't think.
And then the Marauder Task Force figure that you see here, this is the one I made. I made one of the first ones out there because I was like, oh, they have a yellow jumpsuit. Boom, let me get these parts. And I built a Scoop.
So he's custom made.
He's a custom-made figure for myself. From things that you can order from Marauder Task Force. We can make sure we put the site up for those guys. This was a couple years ago, so I don't have to have the parts anymore, but you can definitely check it out. And then you're also looking at one of the very few people, I think there's only been 2 people who's ever costumed or cosplayed as Scoop. And I think I was the first one. So we might be able to show some pictures a little bit, but I had the whole yellow jumpsuit and everything, and it was perfect because I could walk around with a video camera and film, and I'm doing what I'm doing.
Right.
So, again, it goes back to when I was in high school and I realized, hey, this is kind of what I want to do. So, Scoop is just, he is me, I am Scoop, and he's my favorite Joe character. It's going to go a little bit long because I don't know how to follow directions. I do have a couple more favorite
Before
toys.
you jump into the other toys, can I say one more thing about Scoop?
Oh, yeah.
So, one of the things that I love about Scoop that's kind of like an additional soft spot in my heart about Scoop was that when I was in college, I did this series called Action Figure Adventures, and it was a stop-motion animated story. And I picked out figures that I thought were interesting, like an interesting mix of characters. And for some reason, my buddy really clued in on Scoop, the guy that was writing the series for me, the dialogue, and he ended up voicing Scoop. And he used Scoop as like one of the main characters in the entire series.
Oh my gosh.
Because he kind of liked the idea of having this non-combatant guy with all these military guys, and he kind of put a little bit of that message in there. And so in that show, every episode the toys tried to escape the collector's dorm room.
Oh my gosh.
And Scoop would take a picture of them with a real digital camera, and then they would disappear. So that's my little Scoop tie-in.
Okay, guys, let's commemorate the moment. Let's see. What's this? Oh, that doesn't look right.
Is something wrong?
I don't know. That is, it isn't working. To tell the truth, it's the first time I've ever tried to use this thing. Now say, to freedom. To freedom! Alright guys, time for the group photo.
Isn't that cute? It wants to keep our likeness, proof that there is hope for humanity in the distant year 2000.
Alright.
Now, did you guys have Scoop as a... Well, you didn't, but...
You know, and I had it as an adult, but, you know, and then I had quite a few. I think I had Scoop was one of the ones I got before I started dating Tony.
Okay.
I think I had probably about 30
I have it as a man-child.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
But I think that I probably had him probably in the early 90s. I had like a handful of them whenever I moved down.
Well, he definitely stands out. He's also dressed in like the same outfit like Lightfoot wore.
Yeah,
bright
kind of
yellow.
similar.
He's kind of one of those characters, though, that I liked, and I don't want anyone to laugh. He's not my favorite, but I like him, and I like Mainframe. I like those guys that had technical things to do, that wasn't just fighting, it was something technical they had to do.
Well, I like Mainframe because he had a girlfriend that was a dreadnought. Come on.
Yeah,
You can't go wrong with that.
That's one of my favorite episodes,
Yeah,
too.
so, and just real quick, I just wanted to point out a couple of my favorite toys from G.I. Joe as well. One that you really couldn't get unless you got like 5 different things, and that's the mass device, just because I love that toy. And the fact that you could get all the pieces, you could get the all the elements and everything, and then even later in the line you got figures that had these filled up, the little tubules.
Yeah, right.
I just thought that was a very cool thing. And then, of course, I love the Ram motorcycle. That's the Nighthawk figure. Is that right? Yeah. The Nighthawk figure right there, which I just thought was very cool. I bought that 20 years ago.
Street Hawk.
Street Hawk. Sorry, I get that wrong. The Street Hawk figure, which is from a one-season show.
Yeah, it's a TV show. And so I guess the show played internationally.
Yeah.
And then when Fun School had the Hasbro molds, whether they had the rights to the show or not, I'm not really sure. But they released Target, one of the Cobra figures, on the Ram motorcycle as the character from the show. And it's a decent approximation when you keep the face shield down.
Yeah. I just thought it was a very cool figure, so it's one of the little pieces of my collection that I love to have out and kind of show. Aside from multiple scoops, I have a little scoop army, and then of course this piece where a lot of people don't have the tip, sadly, but gotta have the tip. Yo, Joe! And then you can mass device stuff. So, I don't know. And I think, Tony, you just got this one too,
I have
didn't
it
you?
loose, yes.
Yep.
You know what year that came out? I was curious. It shows from what the mid '80s. I imagine this is much later.
Yeah, this was 92, it says, for
Yeah,
this.
so it must have aired very late in other countries, and
Yeah,
it's
because I
included.
bought it from Small Joe's way back when.
Yeah, that one I bought from Small Joe's and just never opened it.
Yep.
And now it's worth too much money to open it.
Right. I bought this probably about the same time, and I was like, I'm opening this up right away. When it was like $5 or whatever.
Yeah.
And now it's like, no. So mine's all dusty. He's got a really nice one here. So Scoop, you gotta start reporting on that. Whoa! Yeah, so, oh man, he dropped his gun. Yeah, I love the fact that Scoop was a reporter
Why
with a
is
gun.
there a camera guy
Those
with
are
a
the
gun? Is
rules.
that if you're not paying attention, he's gonna shoot you?
Yeah, exactly. He's making sure you're on point for that. I will point out too that Scoop never came with a microphone until the club came out with one for him.
Right, for interviewing.
Yep, and basically it was just a reused microphone from a wrestling figure of Sergeant Slaughter. So,
Nice.
yep. So that is me. I have a little bit of a like of everything. Just a little bit.
Mike couldn't follow the rules of bringing his favorite toy.
Do I ever follow the rules though?
Yeah.
Not really.
No.
He's a loose cannon, this guy.
What can I say? I'm the Bro Show. Hashtag just bro it. Do a good deed today and have a lot of fun.
All right, thanks for watching this super exciting, outrageous tour review. Make
Super
sure to
long.
Make sure to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos.
Yo, Joe!
Rock on!